Ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn up the heater.
Welcome.
How's it
Hey, what's
going?
up? Pretty good. What's up? What's up?
Uh-oh. Oh, my rookie mistake. It's my audio. Dang it.
That's all good.
Oh my gosh. It's like the beginning of COVID all over again. Everybody forgets how to work a computer.
That's insane. Don't
Um,
work though.
so how's it going, man?
Man, things are good, man. How y'all doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. My name's Kazi.
Kazi, what's up, Kazi?
So I'm Jacob. I've been following you for I think
JMB. What's up, bro?
for a few years. Yeah, JMB hikes. Started on TikTok live. I think I saw you in my suggested just algorithm suggesting it. I became a follower and kind of like a regular listener. So we have a podcast where we have artists come on. We talk about different things.
We're actually best
Kind of
friends.
started about hip hop, but we've kind of branched into other genres as well as other topics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's funny that Jacob, the non-musician, saw you on his TikTok, and me, I'm a drummer, but definitely I don't see those kind of things on my suggested page. It's like,
It's the same, man. Like, I don't know what's up with TikTok's algorithm. They like, you like, yeah, I'm a musician. We're like, we'll show you everything but music. Like,
right. I think
Yeah.
you can even say like, hey, I'm interested in like seeing music and stuff like that.
At the beginning, like when you first
Yeah,
download it,
yeah.
it's like, hey, what do you want? I feel like it doesn't even listen. It's just coded to ask you. It doesn't care.
It's like, that's great, but we don't really care.
Yeah.
Move along.
So thank you for taking time out of your night to talk with us and just chill out.
Oh, for sure, man.
We have some questions for you. Yeah, we kind of like we have it structured, right? But then sometimes we can just take a turn and just kind of go on banter and
I like it.
Right. Organic. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we in the living room chilling on the couch. I like it, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I see you got your saxophone around your neck, so that's
Always, you know.
always.
Are
nice.
you able to play a tune or anything, or would that require some setup?
I think so. Let me. Yeah, you guys tell me if you can hear the music, then yeah. But if not, then
Okay.
maybe not. Let me know if you can hear this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we should be good then.
Thanks.
Aight. But but yeah, man, Jacob, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you for real, man. Just rock with me, man, and I see you and I appreciate you, man. It's incredible to finally meet you. It ain't in person yet, but eventually we're gonna make it there. Where you guys out of?
We live in Rochester, New York.
Rochester. That's what's up, man. I got invited up there to like talk to some like a high school or a junior college or something like that. I don't
Oh
know.
wow, really?
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, man, maybe I'll be up there soon. I was up there. Well, I wasn't in Rochester. I was just in New York City.
Mhm.
You guys are a little bit further north than that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
Yeah. So I guess I have some random questions, but what motivates you, JahVelle? What motivates you to keep picking up the sax, even on days where you might not feel like it?
the money. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, man. Honestly, man, since I can remember, music has been a part of my life. I mean, like seriously. You know, Jay probably knows the story, but like my dad was a musician. As a matter of fact, behind me, you'll see his guitar. It's like in every one of my lives. Who passed away in 2018, and like for me, since I was born, like he always gave us music. Like he would literally play shows in the basement to four boys who were his sons, and we had a whole 2 hour concert with my dad singing original tunes, and like we'd be rocking out to Stevie Ray Vaughan, then we go to some Al Green, then we jump all the way over to some Voodoo Child, so like
Nice.
that's the kind of house I grew up in, man. So like music has always been a part of my life. So like the thing that motivates me, I guess, or keeps me going is that it really is a way for me to just stay me, and also it's a way for me to communicate to others how I'm feeling or what's going on, or without even saying a word. So to me, that's what motivates, because I can actually play music, and I can do it.
Right.
And it's an incredible thing to be able to express yourself and people feel it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, there's so much feeling in that, and one thing that I've talked about on the podcast before is this, like, the one thing I really like about hip hop is that it's very poetic,
Oh yeah.
and you can definitely feel what the artist, right, is, and that's why we call musicians artists as well, because you are an artist. It's that you're
Yeah.
pouring everything that you're feeling at the time that you record, and then at the time that you perform live, you may have another emotion that's coming out. And my mother is a concert violinist, so I can relate to what it's like to have a musician parent.
Yeah.
And just, I have this compendium of music knowledge in my head, and like I can remember obscure guitar solos from a rock and roll song that I haven't heard in a decade, but I couldn't tell you what I learned in business school.
Right. You know. So,
Calculus and all that stuff, like, so that's awesome. So I'm sorry to hear about your father passing in 2018.
oh yeah, man. But
That's
day
but
by day.
yeah, but I think it's a really good testament, you carrying on a musical legacy and kind of using his influence to help push you forward through you know all your dreams, right?
Heck
Hopes
yeah.
and dreams.
Yeah.
So I listened to two of your singles,
Yeah.
Up All Night and then Beautiful Night.
Yeah. Beautiful night. Yeah.
So I love like the lo-fi beat.
I'm glad you caught on to that, man.
Um, and so do you make your own beats, or do you have someone like a producer that you work with?
Yeah, so I on some music I do make my own tracks. Like my first album, I pretty much produced the whole thing
Okay.
and ripped it and recorded it in like 48 hours, like myself in the studio with like
Oh
a
my
crazy
God.
did that. But the newer stuff like Up All Night and Beautiful Night, I actually worked with some guy. Well, one came from working with another producer on TikTok. His name is Enoch, and
Okay.
he goes by Nox. It's Noxz. If y'all have not heard of Nox, dude, you got to go follow him. He's crazy with the vibes, the lo-fi vibes, and just hip hop, R&B feel, just crazy vibes, man.
Nice.
Um, and the other producer is from Kansas City, man. He's just a guy I grew up with. So yeah, that's about it, man.
Nice. So one thing that I noticed in specifically Up All Night,
Yeah.
like, it feels like baby making music. That was like the first thing that came, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment at like the 2 minute mark. So
Mhm.
for, when we upload the audio from this interview for our listeners,
Yeah.
hit up our playlist and check out Up All Night, and then skip to the 2 minute mark if you want to, or pay attention at the 2 minute mark,
Yeah.
because you do something where either there's an effect or you physically move your saxophone away from the microphone.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a reverb or like a slight echo.
Yeah.
Or did you just double?
Uh, you're probably talking. Are you talking about the? Are you talking about close to the bridge part,
I
or?
think so.
Okay, so yeah, like close to the bridge. I kind of double a little bit.
Okay.
But I do that somewhat on purpose
Mhm.
because it's a big part of the song, and there's kind of a double meaning to it too. So the run that I'm doing, I actually took from my dad. I have a bunch of old recordings, right? So I'm doubling. It's kind of like him playing with me, and
Yeah.
so people don't even like how did you guys catch that? But uh, but it's really like the idea of not being alone, you know.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a little, hidden meaning in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, there's this kind of double kind of open feel that happens with the reverb. And it's just kind of like, you're not alone type vibe. And then it kind of opens up to this really beautiful bridge, like where
Right.
things all come together, So, you get the dun 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 dun, and that's musician talk, but
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, that's absolutely, you're absolutely correct, man. And so I hope when the listener hears it that they feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that's the idea. You want to. Music has always, to me, been the ultimate time machine. You know what I'm saying? So like, even though you don't physically go back to like 1990 when you first heard that song, or 1997, or or 2001 when you first heard a song, it has the ability to take your mind to that place, and you can kind of almost relive that moment. And that's what I want my music to be. I want my music to be timeless in the sense that, like, God, I can listen to that in 50 years, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to like take a hard left turn, but that's how I feel about the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Like, there's a lot of music that they wrote back in 93, 94, 95, and I listen to it and I'm like, like when you listen to Dre, you can tell what was from the Chronic. You can tell, especially when you listen to like NWA, you're like, oh, that's a very 80s vibe. This is early 90s. And then when you listen to the Chronic 2001, like, oh, this is late 90s. But with the Wu-Tang Clan, like I hear some songs and I'm like, when did they record this?
Right.
So I think that's a powerful skill to have.
Yeah. I was a huge ODB fan, by the way. I loved ODB.
Yeah.
I knew, every freaking song he came out with, I was like, yeah, that's me.
I think off of Wu-Tang Forever, dog shit.
Y'all. Anyway.
Or no, what's the off of the his third album, Please? I can't say the first word, but I Can't Stop, right? When he's all like, like shout out to the Army, Navy, Marines.
He goes on this long tangent where he's shouting out all kinds of everybody, and it's almost like more than the main part of the song.
He's like, shout out to Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, and what's them dudes' names? Outkast. Like, how do you forget Outkast? Come on.
Right. He was just he was something else. He's kind of the legend of his own lore.
Right.
But the timeless music thing, it kind of reminds me. So beautiful. Were we talking about Beautiful Night, or were we talking about Up All Night?
We talked about Up All Night, but what do you have to talk about Beautiful Night?
Whichever one you came out with, I think it was late 2021. The name escapes me, but
Beautiful Night.
It's a time travel song for me. So I listened to that pretty much on repeat on the train ride from New York City back up here to Rochester when I came from a long trip in Europe, semi-long, and my mood was very low, and I was actually like really relieved to be home. And as I was getting closer and closer to like my home city, this music was like the theme to that, and it was like the conclusion of a very like anxious, tense time, and it turned into like, thank God I'm home. And just so whenever I hear that now, it puts me in that same place. And I mean, I call it like a time warp.
I'm glad, like everything that you said is absolutely kind of what I was experiencing. So like, if you really been following me, like my and it's gonna get kind of heavy, but my 5-year-old at the time was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in early 2021, right? And so that was also the time that I found out I got picked up by TikTok as one of the top 100 Black creatives. And so they started like this 6-month incubator program. Was crazy. They put us in Rolling Stone magazine and all that fun stuff. Nice. But at the same time, I'm finding out my daughter has stage 3 cancer, right? So it's like, yay, no. Right. And so like, I've shaved my head. So like for most of 2021, I was bald. And the incredible part of that was like, I was able to really write from a place of, I want people to just feel better, because look, 2020, we were all locked up, right? We were all like losing our freaking mind, right? And then 2021 is like, we're finally free. And then everybody else is free, but I'm kind of still like, I got to go to the, doctor every other week for therapy. But to get to the point, man, we wrote that song Beautiful Night like in the summer of 2021 with my daughter, and her name is Layla, which actually means beautiful night. And so like, the incredible part about that song was I was writing from a place of kind of escape, like, even though, you're in this terrible situation, there's still some hope and there's still some beauty left in the world. And so like, it's like, you hear like the melodic, kind of, what I'm saying? And like, basically that's just, kind of, in the middle of everything going on, it could be complete chaos, but you still got a nice, smooth melody. Like, it's going to be all right. And so like, that's really what that song's all about. It is supposed to take you to a place and make you feel like, maybe there's this anxiousness, but then you find the resolve in it, so like, that's the idea. Cause the song is really moving. It's crazy. Yeah. Like if you listen to the track, so.
Agreed.
That's So there's a lot to unpack there.
It is, man. Like my life is freaking nuts, but it's getting better. It's gotten a lot better.
How is your daughter doing?
She's doing great, man. 2 years out of in remission. The doctors haven't found any new growth or cancers, anything like
awesome.
that.
Thank God for that. That's amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah, man. I'm super grateful to God, man, for real. So
that's something that like I'm like I shave my head every year, part of St. Baldrick's Foundation.
Love that, man. Yeah.
I didn't do it this past year because they were I started my business, so I was like super busy, and then they were like picking a date to like get together for the big group. But my wife is the director of a childcare center, and there was this young girl, and she had this terrible brain tumor.
Oh, man,
and her parents took her to Germany a couple times for treatment.
Yeah.
She made it to preschool graduation.
Yeah.
But like my wife had to like hold her hand and walk her across the stage to get her diploma. And it's like, it was heartbreaking. And then her parents decided not to enroll her in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Because they knew. And when she passed, that was really hard, so I'm happy to hear that Layla, is in remission and doing well. Question about her name.
Yeah.
Were you influenced by the Eric Clapton song?
So probably because again, you unconsciously have things in your mind. So like my dad was a guitar player, super big Eric Clapton fan.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure somewhere Layla was sitting in the back of my, cerebellum, like, yeah, we're going to use this name today.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, we researched names. We wanted to have all of our children have names with meaning,
Yeah.
And so we love what Layla represented, which was, beauty in the night. So
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I like that. And so, we ended up making this song called Beautiful Night. So it worked out.
I love that. That's important. Like we're both parents as well. And I think that like we put a lot of thought into our children's names.
My firstborn is named after a mobster, former mafia don. My second son has a Bible name.
Yeah. My daughter's name is Helena.
I like that.
Both of my wife and I, both of our great grandmothers' names happened to be Helen. Wow. And then we just kind of were like, oh, like Helena. And I hear her too. She's upstairs. She's 6 months old, so she's like screaming right now. So
I get it. I've been there.
Her ears are burning. So Beautiful Night, when I was listening to it, I don't know if you got this feeling.
What's up? What you get? I'd love to hear this.
I was getting like a 1970s vibe, like some sort of like a movie or like a nighttime cop drama, kind of like set in New York City, walking down the street, something like that. So, I don't know, like, or like right at dusk when the sun is like given like that pink orange hue, and it's like putting like not just like 10 minutes past golden hour.
Tell me more.
So specific.
I just think you painted such an amazing picture with it, and
that's the idea. So it's art, right? So like it's subjective, and like as depending on who's listening or who's looking at that art, they're all going to have different experiences or in kind of different perspectives.
Yeah.
I do like that 1970s cop show theme. May have to reenact that on my social media somehow.
Yeah.
But nah, man. Of course, growing up I'm a 90s kid, so growing up in the 90s, man. We had a bunch of shows that were like kind of cheesy like that too. But I mean, of course, you get everything when you hear me. You know what I'm saying? So you get the happy, the goofy, and that's incredible because like it's just like if you're a foodie, you know what I'm saying, you get all these different tastes on your palate when you bite into a dish. You're like, dang, that's really spicy. But then there's like this hint of lime that just hit me out of nowhere, and I like that. And that's kind of how I think that's what music does to people. There are certain nuances that people can learn about you without them ever actually speaking to you ever in life, but they can walk up to you and be like, I absolutely know this guy, right. I absolutely know a piece of this guy, so I think that's incredible. So yeah, I definitely was a 1970s cop in my former life.
Probably.
I feel like such a layman talking about music with two musicians. I mean, the way that I process music is deep to me, and it's like on an empathetic level, but there's such a technical aspect that I don't even, it's like way above my head, you know. I don't know, but I'm glad that you're kind of like a yin to the yang about that, because the way that you analyze the breakdown and the production of it, I mean, I'm glad to hear that discussion, because I know how much obviously work went into it. It's not like you just played the sax live and it was like, boop, send it. So, but
there was a famous saxophonist,
saxophonist, yeah.
There we go.
I heard it pronounced another way, and I was kind of like, okay,
Saxy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I like that one.
Yeah. I'm coining that one.
Yeah.
So the saxophonist was brought in as a session musician when Foreigner was recording Urgent, and there's this amazing hook that he plays in the middle of the song, and legend has it is that he came into the booth, he listened to the song once and practiced along with it, and then he said, okay, let's fucking record, and he did one take, and then he's like, that's it, and he fucking left.
And that's how you do it. That's how you freaking do it, man.
Yeah, like they were just like, that's amazing, we're gonna keep it.
I'm gonna do that next time I get booked as a session musician. I'm gonna just walk in one time.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, great.
Knock it out of the park.
Hit
record.
You gotta have the confidence. Even if you're not confident, you just gotta like play your instrument with confidence, and then people are gonna be like, hey, if he's happy with it, unless you have a specific vision.
Kick the door down and just be like, this is the sound.
Never take off your sunglasses.
Matter of fact, I'm going to slide them.
Yeah.
Nah, man. That's absolutely true, man. I used to, as much as I was raised around music and stuff, I even have family members who are like literally professional singers and traveled and made the billboards and all that fun stuff. But it's so incredible. Like me, I've never been the front person. I've always kind of been the back guy, Okay. And so when TikTok came around, I had an opportunity just to make content, and I was really being goofy. And I was like, man, I don't think this app likes musicians. Like, I get one like out here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until consistently posting and kind of seeing growth, like, okay, maybe people are actually cool. And so from there, I kind of started building a community. And but I honestly struggled with performing on stage, and I struggled with like being confident every single time I hit the stage. And there was one moment where I got a chance to play with a legendary saxophonist, and his name was Kirk Whalum.
Right.
And he invited me to sit in with him. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I just wanted to be around and hear you play. And he was like, no, come sit in. And there was this other guy named Donald Hayes. He was there too. He's both Memphis saxophonists, monsters. When I say monster saxophone players, they are. Like, if you ever listen to them, they're absolutely incredible. So shout out to them. But I was on stage, and Kirk said, yeah, come sit in with me, guys. Just learn this song. So he teaches us this song like 5 minutes before the show. 2 songs 5 minutes before the show. So the whole time while he's doing his set, I'm in the back practicing so I can play with Kirk Whalum, right?
Yeah.
And I come out, and Donald Hayes is on the side of the stage, and he's like, and Kirk's like, hey guys, we're gonna go up in about 10 minutes. That's how long I've been practicing to try to get right. And there was another performer who he said, hey, come and sit in with us. And that person was like, no way, I'm not embarrassing myself. So then my confidence just said, to make a long story short, Donald Hayes, who was a friend of mine before that show, and I had done shows with him before, he pulled me to the side. He said, dude, I said, Donald, how do you just go on stage and just kill it every single time, bro? Like, how do you do it? And he said, he was like, did you go to church as a kid? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, do you remember? And he's just like, this is how he talks. He's like, do you remember like the story of Samson? And I was like, yeah, like super strong, never, nothing could phase him except for when his hair got cut or whatever. He's like, yeah, exactly. And then he's like, this is the same with your sax, man. He's like, you got the strength every single time you step on that stage, you can just not tear it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, so you got to just like every step you take, you're getting stronger. And so like, I don't know what about that speech made sense, but it definitely changed the way I approach things.
Yeah.
And I'll say, man, from then on, dude, I have a different approach when I hit the stage now, man. And it was a epiphany almost, like, I was made to do this. You know what I'm saying? And so like from then, I would say my performances have definitely changed. So awesome. Even my approach. So
That's an amazing story, man.
Yeah, crazy, man. And I got to play the freaking legend. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah.
I love the story of Samson. My mom for a short time was like a Sunday school teacher, so that was like kind of cool. Like my mom was a Sunday school teacher, but I remember she taught this like about the story of Samson.
Yeah.
And like when they teach it to you in Sunday school, like they don't tell you that when Samson brought the columns down, he brought them on himself.
Self, right? Yeah.
He didn't survive, but
He didn't make it.
I love the story of Samson, and I love the name Samson specifically from the movie Half Baked.
Oh yeah, that's my movie, dude. Oh, I love that movie. I like
want
it.
to talk to Samson.
Yeah.
Wow, early Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like one of my favorite. I would watch that movie with my dad like every single day, bro. Like I have that movie memorized.
Dude,
He's on the couch like, I don't know what to do. I just anyway.
Jacob, it was like the first day that Instagram put like those little like the away message status thing, like in the messages or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't even know.
But it's
I
like the
don't know
aim
either.
away messages. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jacob put I want what was it? Abba Zabba, you're my only friend.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Abba
Abba. Man, that Dave Chappelle was a freaking. I mean, he's still amazing, but like, dude, that era of Dave Chappelle was something to behold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the freaking supporting cast around him was crazy too.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect match. He did have Bank Part 2, Dave. Wherever you at, man. Just saying.
I love like anything involving Charlie Murphy, anything involving Mos Def or Yasin Bey.
Heck yeah.
I think Black Bush. We referenced Black Bush probably like
from the Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope.
and then Jamie Foxx was Tony Blair. Yeah.
Wow, you're right.
I was gonna ask you. You said something about TikTok top 100.
Yeah.
This guy's laughing about.
I'm thinking about.
It's a good movie, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
When his wife asks like, "Oh, I'm going to the store. Do you guys want anything?" I have it saved on my iPhone. The whole list.
The Funyuns.
The 2 large pizzas, Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, water.
I just fed the horse. I just fed the horse.
He was 2 days away from retirement.
Buttercup.
All right. Anyway, go on.
I mean, no, I like it to be natural. So top 100, was it Black creators, Black TikTokers? Yeah. What was it?
Yeah. So originally, this was around like the George Floyd time and everything, and so they were trying to, there was a lot of advancement for African American people. And so TikTok thought, hey, what can we do to help creators? Because we see that they're not, they're not excelling at the same rate as, white creators and things like that. And so they created this Black Creators program to give opportunities to Black creators that they thought, were on the up and up. And so they chose 100 creators. There were literally thousands and thousands of people who applied. And they chose 100 Black creatives to start this program. It was a 6-month incubator program. And they chose us based off of originality, creativity, and potential. And they chose 100 creatives, and of those creators, they only chose 2 instrumentalists. And they chose me, and they chose this dude named John, the violinist, and he's out of Ohio.
Okay.
And we still keep in touch. But the incredible thing was they took us through the 6-month incubator program that basically taught us how to create sustainability, how to create content, how to plan content. We got a chance to meet Gabrielle Union. We got a chance to meet Common and talk and rap with him. Charlemagne the God. And the crazy thing is Charlemagne knew who I was before like I could even introduce myself. He's like, dude, he was like, I freaking love you on Saturday, man. He's like, you're incredible, bro. He's like, I was like, what? I was like, there's no way freaking Charlemagne knows me. And that was kind of a surreal moment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm not shocked by that, but
I am.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
But it was really cool, man. But that program really taught us how to like take what we do to the next level. And I think it really has paid off. It's created some great relationships and some long lasting friendships and a real community on TikTok, as well as other social apps, which has been cool.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome.
And we got featured in Rolling Stone magazine. So I mean,
right.
I can't be mad at that at all. So,
no, that's amazing.
Do you have that frame somewhere?
I need to. I got too much. They gave me this little cool thing though. You see this little? Hold on, I'll show you right there. Yeah, you see that little poster right there? That's like
Oh
pink.
yeah, that
Oh,
from TikTok?
nice.
Yeah, that's from the Black Creators Program. It's like Black Creatives in partnership with Stay Macro, TikTok for Black Creators. So
That's dope.
made us those cool posters or whatever. And a lot of my original setup came from them. They gave us like lighting and a camera, camcorder, and it was crazy. I was like, what?
That's
Nice
awesome.
food, my name on the back and fun stuff. Yeah, so it was cool. So shout out to TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this post George Floyd initiative that they did to lift Black voices, do you feel that that was enough, or do you feel like it helped, or did it get what they wanted to get?
That's a good question. I can't speak for them as to kind of what they want to accomplish. Of course, I think that there are a ton of talented creators out there who deserve an opportunity. So I think there's still a lot of work to be done. I'll just say that. From my perspective, I think there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
Without being too messy or causing drama. I just think there's a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's a lot going on. There's this little guy, he's like 14, and he started a channel just recently. And he's like he loves Marvel comics and things like that. And like he's been getting trolled. He's had 3 accounts, and we've been helping him to get his account up to like 15,000.
Yeah.
But like every time he get trolled and mass reported this, and he just loves comics, but I don't know, for whatever reason, some people absolutely hate that he's given comic critiques and things like that. So they literally have blocked him 3 times on TikTok and lost his account. So he just completely stopped and gave up. But now he's on YouTube and he's kicking butt. So like I said, those are things like that are the things where I'm like, man, Black creators, we really need to kind of band together, and we need the support of other people who don't look like us and who can speak for us and who can continue to advocate on our behalf. So there's a lot of ways to go, man. There's a lot of ways to go.
I know that like my late maternal grandfather, and he passed 20 years ago, but he would talk to my mother about the internet, and he served in World War II, and he was alive during the Cold War, and he saw how media can influence the masses, right? And he would talk to her about this, and he would say, the internet, it's up and coming, and he's like, we really need to be like on the forefront of it, right? Because it can be a double-edged sword, and that's what I'm finding. When we look at any of these social media platforms, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I mean, like, I tweeted today for the first time in like a few weeks, and I was like, Twitter seems to be like, to me, going the way of MySpace. I just think it's irrelevant to me now. I changed my privacy settings and made my Twitter private because like I was getting trolled, and it was like,
No, it's crazy, man. It's a different.
Forgot
It's a
about that.
different age.
getting trolled by white supremacists is just like, and like you can't talk to those kind of people. You can't speak rationally and have the true philosophical argument the way that Socrates and Plato and Aristotle.
And the thing is, man, the majority of them appreciate the fact that they can blame ignorance as to why they're behaving the way they are, but they absolutely know, and that's what I realized. That people absolutely know what they're doing, and the guys, the little kid's his name is Marvel Geek. So go check him out on YouTube because he's killing it. Yeah, we're getting him. And I think last check he was at 18,000. We're gonna get him to 100,000. So let's go, Marvel Geek on YouTube.
Is there an underscore, or if I just search Marvel Geek, I'll get there?
Yeah, Marvel Geek, he'll come up. Yeah,
okay.
He's in the 20s now. But you're absolutely right. I led a march about 2021, and we were able to garner over 2,000 people there. We're in the Smithsonian now, so they got like my picture somewhere in the Smithsonian because of the march. But yeah, it was all because of the George Floyd thing, and the audacity of some of the things that were being said at that time, and just not feeling safe. I received death threats, man. I received everything you can name, and I even got calls. I probably can't say that, but yeah,
you can say whatever you want to say. We're not asking.
People were calling to protect me. I'll say that, because perhaps, this may or may not be true. I was on lists that I, was being watched. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I know that I am on several lists. uh,
Yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, let's just talk about it. I mean, it's just wow, man, the kind of world we're living in right now, man. It's just like, geez.
Yeah.
But you know, you try. I've found something worth fighting for, and when you fight for what you believe is right, then I feel like, hey, you got a reason to live. And so, you know, for me, it was a no brainer. If it could make a better world for my friends and my family, I'm gonna do it. So, yeah, man.
all right,
That's
so
a lot of music talk right there.
we no, I appreciate it. You know, it lets us know more about you, and it lets our listeners know a little bit more about, you know, who you are.
Yeah.
And then when they go and listen to your music, then they can kind of have a more deep understanding. So we have just about 4 minutes left before Zoom is going to end the call on us. So I got one more question.
Okay.
And then
I got a quick. I just Kazuya closes out. I got a quick one. Upcoming projects or work that's down the pipeline that you're excited about.
A ton, man. So this year I plan on releasing more music probably than I ever have in my life. I'm working with a guy in Baton Rouge. I'm working with the same producer from the UK that produced A Beautiful Night. Okay. We're working on some new music, you know, because I feel like that's truly where I am right now. That kind of lo-fi R&B kind of sound vibe. I love that. And then, man, I'm writing a book right now. Nice. You know, unofficial name is, you know, I can't say, but it's gonna be a fun book. And it's kind of take you through the journey of the influencer life, and then like it's also gonna have some supplemental material for people they want to become an influencer. But yeah, so writing a book, getting some new music out. Doing some bunch of public speaking right now. So like going places, doing speeches, you know, it's elementary schools, middle schools, colleges. Nice. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm doing a concert next month with this dude named Justin from The Voice. Okay. He was on The Voice this past season. I think he came out like 5th place or something. But he used to actually be in my band before The Voice. And we did a few shows. Yeah. And so like he just like took off too. He actually came on a few of my lives, but he's absolutely outstanding. Justin Aaron, you can check him out. Okay. He's an outstanding singer. So yeah, man. So we got some concerts coming up in February and January. I'm doing a few public speaking engagements and conversations and concerts. So that's about it, man. That's about it. You know? Yeah. Staying busy. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Of course, the content too. Always new content. So make sure you follow, like, and share. Oh yeah.
Shit, man. All right. I have one question, but I don't think we're gonna have enough time to unpack it. So I vote we schedule another meeting, and we can do that.
Part 2 then, or
yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll save it for them. Or maybe we could do like a Instagram live or something like that one of these days.
Yeah, too easy. That sounds cool.
But well, I guess because we also sometimes talk about caffeinated beverages on our podcast. What would you say is your go-to coffee or tea or whatever caffeinated beverage you drink?
Yeah, so since Rockstar actually gave me an endorsement, I mean, no, man, I mean, seriously, like I drink a ton of Rockstar energy drink. You know, I may have been the Rockstar Summer Spotlight artist, you know, who knows, but yeah, I drink that, man. What else? What's my go-to, man? I love me some lemonade, man. Some nice, you know, like freshly squeezed lemonade, you know, like that real stuff. Even simply lemonade's nice. Chick-fil-A lemonade's not too bad, you know what I'm saying? I'm a lemonade guy. I don't know what it is.
I think it's the tartness. It hits you right here, especially being like a wind player. You probably appreciate like the jaw workout when you drink something tart.
So that's it, man. You know, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I like it smooth. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah. I fuck with that though. I used to get Rockstars. My late friend, she used to like work at this like little. It's called Save-A-Lot. It's kind of like a family dollar.
Exactly. Like that. Dude, you from where I'm from out here? Okay, yeah.
And so they used to have Rockstar on sale all the time, and I always used to drink that. I texted him about this. I was just like, oh, I love people who have the Rockstar tattoo. So anyway, hey,
I got like 30 seconds or less.
Yeah.
We're gonna get cut off. JahVelle, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great talking with you. I can't wait to speak with you another time.
Go listen to the music, baby. All
Thank
right,
you.
y'all, man. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
And
you.
JB, man, always good to see you again, man. So, yes, sir.
Peace.
Talk to you
Peace.
soon.